You're live.
Hey, Shop Maniacs. I was looking at the questions, the show notes. Good to see you again. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm okay. A little sore throat. 'Tis the season. It's okay though.
Tis the
Got my flu
season.
shot. Got my COVID shot. So I'm like good to
Okay.
go there. But it doesn't prevent you from a little post nasal drip. I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got sicknesses. I just got over it. Or, like, I had it earlier, and then now, I don't know. I think I have a boomerang, like, big ol'
Yeah.
sinuses. But we also, like, just got a bunch of weather. I mean, I know it's cold, actually cold where you're at, but we have cold that came through. And whenever it comes through,
Okay.
it's just kind of like a, 40-degree drop or something. And so all this wind comes. And then I think so it's allergies. That's what's hard about Austin. We have
Yeah. You
allergies
get
year
allergies when
round.
it's cold. Okay.
If you
Yeah.
get a chance, pull up an Austin allergy map. It is basically year round, there's something attacking you. And I think I don't have the cedar. That's what's the big one right now until Valentine's Day.
Okay. Okay.
I don't have the cedar. We call it the cedar. That's like how, oh, you got the cedar, like, oh, it's the cedar. I
Sure.
don't
But it's
have
the
the
pollen
cedar.
from a cedar tree,
I
right?
think I'm sensitive to just like pollen counts in general, like number high, I feel it, that's what I into it. So we just, yeah, Austin is, I don't know, man. We just are literally dying every day we go outside. The whole outside is trying to fight us every day. So whether through heat, cold snaps, or allergies.
I feel like
Don't move here.
what's helping me now though is even though this sucks and I want it to go away, I've been so busy lately and just tired that I feel like I've earned like a couch day that I haven't cashed in a long time. And I'm reading
Yeah.
a good book and I'm
Oh, good.
playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is just so cool. It's just so good. And the
I
only reason it came across my radar is because it's the new year, and so you get all these like best of lists, and everybody it's on like every best game of last year list, and it's like no surprise to me. Even though I'm not like a big gamer, I don't know what all the big games were. Just I'm happy to listen to a good recommendation. Then I happen to have an Xbox sitting around, and I have Game Pass for it because there's something appealing about that to me, where you can just be like, I don't know, all the games in here are like free. I got Ruby thinking that way on our iPad too. I'm like, don't download any game. Just go to the arcade area because we have like Apple One Plus subscription or whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
yeah.
And then these games are not only free, but they're like better because they don't have ads and crap in them. And all
Right,
the other
right.
crap she downloads is like, draw the missing leg on the chair. Need help?
Right.
Watch this ad. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. My
Anyway,
kids.
so now I've got her on the arcade thing, and there's some really good, high quality stuff in there that she enjoys. So,
Yeah,
same
my
deal
kids
on
only
Microsoft.
play games like that could be described as viruses. Just like
Yeah,
pretty print nail hair salon, and it's just like you paint somebody's face, and then it's like buy more credits with the ad, watch a video. It's
yeah. It's junk, but not
But you
not so
get that.
much on arcade is pretty good. And this, I wonder if they considered a mistake to be on Game Pass on Microsoft because Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is so good. I could easily imagine people shelling out $50 for it, knowing how good it is. But I spent $0 on top of my game subscription, so hopefully it's working out good for them because it really is beautiful and fun. Anyway, I need it. I need a gut dang couch day, so maybe I'll take that
Yeah,
one of these days.
dude, take it. Do the couch day.
Not
My
right now,
body
though.
always waits until like holidays to peel out. It's like, oh, you're finally like not doing anything. I should just get sick. That's what I'll do. Or, oh, it's the weekend. We held it together till the weekend, so now you get to lay in pain all weekend while you have to do kid stuff. So
Yeah, I've probably mentioned this before, but I always remember this story that was told to me by Miranda one time was that when she worked at the newspaper, it was so go, 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 go all the time. And she was in Boston at the time. And then there was like snow days once in a while. Snow days so bad that even work was closed. And then you'd think, oh, people got their rest. Oh, that's good. But so the next day, they'd be back open again and half the staff would be out. Like when you're forced to take a break or there's a built-in natural break, your body like exhale, like let's go, it like just like lets you be sick. So when you go, your body like is fighting it. It's like, no, you will not be sick.
No, I mean, I feel like I experienced that to a maximum degree, and I probably need to like know that and budget days off. That's I think my 2026 challenges. One of them is like plan days off arbitrarily, because I'm not good at taking days off on the fly, or like in reaction to how I've been working. I need to just be like every second whatever Tuesday is a day off or something, just I don't know, something like that. Or Fridays would probably be a good day, but anyway, I just kind of need to like architect that sort of situation just so I don't, just so I make sure I get time off or something.
All right. Well, we picked out a whole bunch of questions this week. We always appreciate your questions. This show will probably continue to be a mix of guest questions and Dave and I riffing, but we're going to do some questions. This time, Sheila Brennan writes in, I'm noticing how AI tools are not great at CSS, especially for layout. I found a blog post that 100% matches my experience for me in Lovable most recently. And this could be a cool show topic. Do you see AI tools getting better at CSS in the future, or will it always be a weakness? I love this question because, like, does any of us really know? Can I sit here and say, like, no, LLMs will always be bad at CSS, declares me? I could say that, but that's just pulling particles out of my butt. I don't know that.
I heard they're only ever going to get better, Chris. So checkmate.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly feels a little closer to reality, because they have gotten a lot better over the years. You'd be crazy not to say that. So like probably they'll get better. I do have some like weird feeling in my brain that the way that CSS connects to HTML through selectors, that an LLM will never like really understand what a selector does and how it relates to this other string of HTML sitting over here, which by the way, might get manipulated with JavaScript and stuff. The way the DOM comes together to do what it's going to do, to me, feels like something that is like pretty difficult for an LLM's, the way that it thinks, to like actually understand, in the way that it's really just looking at other code that it's seen before and trying to piece it together. I have some doubts that it'll ever think perfectly abstractly enough to absolutely crush it at HTML and CSS, but that's just a feeling. And for me to pretend like I know, I don't really know. And I do expect it to get better, as it already has. So I just, I guess I'll leave it at that, which is a pretty wishy-washy answer, but an honest one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think like it depends on where you think that industry is going, I suppose. The AI industry, I think I have seen that, like, I think everyone knows, like, if you ask for like a significantly large project or something, you're going to get React and Tailwind out of the LLM. And that's because like all models basically have that built in at the system prompt level. Some of them have like, if it's a short example, return HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But like, at a certain point, they are just going to offload all that and they're only going to write kind of the abstraction at the React and Tailwind level. I think, or even like just use ShadCN. They don't even use Tailwind. They just like copy paste ShadCN into the UI, and then change some design tokens. So I think like understanding how they work, I think, is very important for this conversation. I think this article kind of really outlines a lot of what you are experiencing. Like, I think that's what Sheila said. Sheila Brennan also sounds like a fake name. I'm not going to call you out on that, Sheila, but it just sounds like too like professional. So anyway, I don't want to.
I don't think we've met, but I know her to be a real person for sure.
Okay, it just sounds like a very, very good, strong name, and I'm like a little suspicious. Anyway, so anyway, CSS. It's tough. I've actually seen like these generative UIs, like or like somebody generates a page and the LLM does a layout and dude, it looks good. Pretty awesome. And then I take the browser and I go, weep, 100 pixels. We're in overflow town. That's what's weird to me is I don't know that LLMs, well, I know an LLM can't like squeeze a browser. I know it's not sitting there like, you know, like, oh, is that good? Is it 800 or 728, you know? So I think there's a situation there where I think the human is always going to be better at it. Like we can spot wrong. I would even say like our whole entire evolution as a species has been to like spot weird things and like fix them or call them out, you know? So I think like in some sense, like we are very good at that. I think, I think like LLMs sort of, especially in a one-shot scenario, struggle. You know, I think you can probably be like, you know, it's overflowing, fix it. And it could like maybe reverse engineer what it just wrote and then spit it out or like give it back.
That's a good example of one that
but
I think it would be hard for it to do and understand.
Yeah.
Is the overflow thing is like, oh, it is. Thanks for that feedback. I couldn't really know. I would say that it's getting a little, now that I mentioned this the other week, but just through the Chrome DevTools, MCP as they call them, which honestly, I barely understand. I get that they're like additional tools for your LLM to reach for, but they do seem very like weird and magical. But I'll say that when it's in there, sometimes when I'm doing something, it decides it's just going to go look in Chrome for itself. And that's interesting to me because then it could go look at the element and just see that it's overflowing and just do the measurements itself, which it's happy to do that kind of thing, which I think is really interesting and empowering. So that an LLM isn't always, like its root is whatever, every piece of language and code that's ever been written, apparently. But the context matters a lot too, and the context isn't necessarily just your prompt. I mean, I think we can see this when you type a little baby prompt and you watch that thing go. It's almost like re-prompting itself. It's like, let me send this through a little baby model to expand upon what it is I think you're saying, and then we'll feed that back to the model so it has more understanding of what you're trying to do. And maybe I'll even go ask a browser what it thinks, and maybe I'll hit this URL and see what information is there. Maybe I'll look at my claude.md file to see if there's any clues in here that explain what you want me to do, like, for example, not use Tailwind or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Is there a ceiling? I don't know. That it feels like that. It seems like the discourse lately, just really recently, has become this is going to get expensive. Buckle up. I've heard lots of that.
Ooh, interesting.
Because it's like this is all losing money and it's not tenable for the long period. So like the companies that are sick of losing money are just going to be like, well, we charge $300 a month for this now.
Oh, so we're in like the heyday, is what you think?
Maybe, there's just a lot of free usage right now, and it's going to be a buckle up. But I could see the next phase after that.
Sorry, we're in the $5 or free DigitalOcean for life era of AI. Okay.
Yeah, I remember Media Temple had 100 sites for $20 a month. Yeah, it didn't last, you know?
You go to a conference, you get a DigitalOcean for $5 or whatever. DigitalOcean drops, you know, and then you collect 1,000 of them and you just have it.
Doesn't that stand to reason though? You know, we have what's his nuts OpenAI guy being like, we have a $200 plan that we lose money on. You're like, okay, well,
yeah. I was watching or read, I don't know. I read a lot of like AI discourse. Apparently there's like this leaderboard of like people who like steal the most from Claude or whatever, and it's basically like, you know, they pay for the $200 plan or whatever, but they use like 18 billion agent hours worth of like a compute, you know, like, so it's like clearly just like driving, you know, and I don't know that they're like, you know, I think it's like almost a malicious endeavor or something. Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's not even a really like quote unquote productive developer running 10 agents at a time. It's actually like agents asking other agents to cost Claude as much
just
money
go
as it
do
can.
stuff. Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like how can we, like cost Claude
If you
as much
hated
as we
AI, that
can,
would be
yeah.
interesting, wouldn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
Claude,
that's
why don't you call
pretty.
Claude in the most expensive way possible 24 hours a day?
That's sometimes I do wonder if some good trouble's necessary. I mostly mean it in the like I don't like what's going on with X.com, the everything website, and the fact that you can just undress women. I think that is abhorrent. I think it
Do you
would
think it's
be
also abhorrent of like Apple, for
abhorrent.
example, to just be like abhorrent? Isn't
Yeah,
that it?
to just be like, we'll keep it on the App Store. Yeah, I think it's
Well, yeah, because
stupid.
if it was undress app, it would no way would have stay up. It would just be gone. But if it's X, the undress app by Elon Musk, it's like,
Yeah.
well, we're a little too nervous to mess with that, so we're just gonna do nothing. Where's
Yeah.
the bravery, people?
Yeah, I think like I feel it's some cowardice across the board. I'm not going to blame certain people, but just across the board. I but I wonder like why aren't we just like Elon Musk without the hair plugs? Like why don't we just generate all these photos of what these people would actually look like without the like testosterone injections, without the square jaw, without the the jaw implant, without the like why aren't we doing that? Why don't we just show the world who they are? Like I don't know, the president without his orange makeup and comb over wig. Like he probably doesn't have a wig, but he definitely has like a weave kind of thing in there. You know what I mean? So anyway,
I did see people doing that a little when I heard about the discourse. Is that people are asking X to undress people? Some users asked it to put on clothes to Elon, or maybe it was an Onion headline or something. Could you please put more clothes on Elon?
Yeah, could you? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure we did not answer
Elon with more
Sheila's
taxes
question at all. But
yeah. So here's what I would say. So I think Tailwind is the reason they're doing Tailwind and defaulting to that is there's a lot of Tailwind examples of modern websites, and they always pick the same linear website and then make it purple. It's
understandable, isn't it? Doesn't it make sense that an LLM understands Tailwind in a way that it doesn't understand CSS? Because it's 1-to-1. Apply this, get this result. That's just a lot.
It's one technology, right? Like it's like it still has to know how to install or whatever, to instruct to install or whatever. But like they're just giving you a React component. They don't do any CSS, very minimal HTML. Like it's just like they're sticking into one tech stack. Whereas HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and if you're doing those independently, you have to kind of marry those into a single story, and that's 3 code boxes it has to pay attention to. That's harder than one file, That's and I don't love that, but I think it's harder. So I don't know. I think understanding CSS or I think getting CSS out of the machines is always going to be a little bit trickier, just currently how they're architected. That said, can you like download Olama and write a new system prompt and maybe teach it how to use actual code? Yeah, you probably could. So try that.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know.
It seems like there's people of different persuasions in this that I find interesting. People that are like, I'm a back-end coder. Oh, thank God. LLMs are really good at the front end. So like now I get to be very full stack because AI has saved me. And that's like the most likely outcome of this, is that we don't need the front end people as much anymore because, and I guess if I had to pick a way to feel, it would be the opposite. It would be that I think LLMs are much better at the back end stuff because it's just so deterministic and there's so much like more examples of it that are easy to understand, that I think that even though the implications of it might be a little scarier because security and all this is involved, and you know, doing a bad job has like higher risk than like a div being out of place or whatever. That I think if you're a front end dev, what you can accomplish full stack wise is like almost more empowering the other direction. But you know, people have both persuasions for sure.
Yeah, it does. It sometimes feels like I don't know. It's like we have like the the episode of The Office where everyone's pointing guns at each other. The improv episode, or whatever. It's like I feel like it's that. It's like we're all like, AI's gonna take your job. It's not gonna take my job. AI's gonna take your job. And I wish it was. I wish that fear mindset was not there, you know, because that's what it's like. The thing I don't know how to do, you've talked about this on your blog, I feel like. The thing I don't know how to do, it's really good at, you know? It's like 100% it, you know? And then you're like, the thing I know how to do, it's very bad at. And so, like, so I think we're just like, well, I'm not even going to need a designer or a manager or a CEO anymore because I got this tool who will tell me what to do. Or, like, you know, like, I just...
Right. It hasn't borne out easier. Have you seen the articles that are like, where is all this software then? Like, do we see 15 times more apps than you have before? Because I don't think anybody is. It just doesn't seem to be out there. I don't know.
Yeah, where is the AI? LearnUI.design. Where's the AI design renaissance? Did you that was the post maybe? I've had this post open for like a month. That's how I knew exactly where it was. It's really, it brings some data, you know, to the discussion. It's basically like there's no new domain names. They aren't running totally juiced up. You know, the average iOS
I think
release
domain names is a great metric.
Is flat.
That's a great metric.
iOS releases flat. You know, new GitHub. This is a little old. It's down. I want to say like GitHub is saying no, they're up. You know, but but this is flat because it's probably like a 5% growth. Anyway, but I think, and I feel like I saw a GitHub stat that said that repos are up, but I don't quote me on that. I like this post. I do think there is this sort of like, you know, I don't think this is the question I have, I guess I should say, is, yeah, nothing's coming out of this, but like if I generate a little tool to help me do my taxes or something like that, or I don't know, what would be like a little chat widget or something that you like say like, hey, build me a whatever, a restaurant website, you know, or a website for all the burritos in Bend, Oregon, right? And it goes off and does that, and you get it back. And you're like, well, cool. This isn't actually what I wanted. Or like, this isn't great to me anymore now that it's done. So I'm just not going to put it out there. You know, like maybe that's part of it. Like we, you know, when ideas have always been cheap, but now execution is kind of cheaper. And so if you chose to execute on an idea, you would have already bought the domain name. You would have already bought the, you know, like the everything. And like, you would have like built, like almost overcommitted yourself to launching this thing, whether it's good or not, because you had this burrito idea. And, you know, I think it's now like maybe a likelihood that, because you can execute so fast or at least see something, a prototype, let's call them prototypes, like a prototype from an LLM, like does, you know, did you just get it out of your system and you're like, oh, fine. Thank goodness I didn't have to go build that thing, you know? So, you know, that's the question I have. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have any data, but I'd be curious if that's like why we're not seeing a huge explosion of apps or what. So I don't know.
I could see it. I could see it. What's making me think about right now is we on our project sharing thing, one of the projects we shared was called Outline, which has a Y instead of an I, out L-Y-N-E. And they asked me for some feedback the other day too. I think on the show we were kind of impressed with how much work it was putting together and how quickly and There's all these pages and stuff, and it's just kind of prompt based. It asks you a bunch of questions, and then it spits out a website. It kind of looks like probably a lot of the websites have a lot of similarities. It's probably, they're pretty common looking websites. There's a big hero image, and they have navigation and a lot of grids and dark mode and stuff. But anyway, I think they're like trying to find their place in the world. Forgive me if I'm, giving anything away about their success or whatever. You could probably understand that, right? That like they're a startup and they're trying to figure it out or something. And maybe aren't millionaires yet, they have this, but what do we do with it now? And are thousands and thousands of websites being published with this tool, even though it's really fast and AI just screams you through it, and theoretically these websites would serve some kind of customer. Maybe they're not finding it in the numbers that they're wanting. But who are millionaires? The Stack Blitz people with Bolt. Their monthly ARR is crazy. What's the difference between Bolt and this? Bolt, you get to see the code and stuff, and it's kind of does a good job, and maybe they have some good marketing, although I'm not sure, Like, I've been impressed by some of Bolt's output before, but I don't use it that much because I don't do a lot of one-shotting, and I don't scaffold so many new projects that I need new all the time. And I do think AI is like kind of extra impressive at the like kick things off for me level sometimes. But I wouldn't think of Bolt as like a tool where I'm like, I have this existing project and need help, so I'm going to open it in Bolt and ask for help. I think of it much more as the beginning of a project than the middle of a project. But so is this. So is Outline. Outline is all about the beginning of a project. What's so different about the two tools that makes one very successful and one not? Is it knowable? Is it understandable? Is it obvious to someone who closely is following the AI market or something? Or is it more like random? Is it more just like, I don't know, they did a better job at reaching customers or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of, I'm sure it's like clout, I'm sure it's like there's some previous brand trust that goes into it. I think there's a lot of, I think people, I bet V0 helps Vercel sell Vercel subscriptions, So, I think that thrill, I think it's a good place to be if you're, I think the like thrill of self-publishing something is still awesome. Does that make like even if you're doing it with AI, the thrill of like, dude, I made that, and dude, I can publish it. Oh wow, you're like, that's cool still. So
I wonder if it diminishes a little bit though, because like I used Outline and I put a little bit of not like 5 minutes of effort behind this thing, and if I hit their publish button and I got it, and I didn't really feel anything, because it's like this website isn't for anything yet. All the images are just AI generated images, which make like almost turn my emotions off. It's like almost like they should have used Unsplash rather than AI generated images, because at least those are real photographs. Like what could you put there? Could I have put like, if let's say I'm 8 and Ruby's really into like, I don't know, Tate McRae or something, and she made a fan website, would she feel something because it's her first website? It would be like, like in that excitement that I certainly wasn't making websites when I was 8, but when I was late teens or whatever, maybe I was dabbling. I can't remember the date of my first website, but it felt very powerful. Like, oh my God, I have a website online that I can control. That was amazing to me, and still feels amazing when the content is important and personal. Like I'm sharing something that I really want people to read. I feel like these like brochure sites aren't that.
That's maybe it. Like, then maybe that's the thing is like, maybe the next step is like, okay, we spun up a homepage, cool. Like how do could these tools, or just people using the tools, like try to like think deeper, and this is where the tools, the technology I feel falls apart, is when you try to extend on the original prompt, when you're trying to be like, okay, build me a website. It's like, yeah, bro, pew pew pew, got your purple website, you know, and you're like, okay, well, can we not do purple? You know, can we make it more interesting or like this image? You know, it's like, I got you, bud, and it's like, you know, and it's just isn't. It starts like slowly degrading, and I think that's because of like context rot and things like that. You know, maybe there's a whole thing like it just needs to swap context or something behind the scenes, or maybe, you know, I mean, maybe there's just a flow, like a good old fashioned computer program that's like, hey, cool, you did the generate step. Now we're going to do like the personalized step or something like that. Like what's about you that would be cool in this website? Like, what do you like?
Yeah.
Who's the artist, or who's the
Right.
like, oh, you like anime? Would you do want an anime website or something? You know, like what would be like, how does it?
And is it interesting? Like, can it be your opinion about anime? Could it be like a secret that you found in an anime or something? This is what it's making me think about. Go to landonorris.com. It got some acclaim last year. He's an F1 driver. Perhaps you recognize the name. This website is cool as anything. Like, straight up, they did a great job with this website. And then, just to be a weirdo contrarian, is like, or did they? It's so beautiful aesthetically. There's so much cool stuff going on. It's compelling. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's one of these like, I'm jealous about how talented the person who made this is, but like, it's just like a homage to him or something. Like, the only reason I'm coming here is because of how it looks. But there's nothing on here that's like I care that much. Like, if it was Lando himself publishing little tiny paragraphs of what he's thinking, that to me that would be more interesting than helmets spinning around, because it's interesting and personal and it matters, you know, in a way that's just like all this fancy imagery and helmets and animated track races and fancy crap like that. I don't actually care. I'm not going to come back to this website to look at that. It's just technically impressive, but I don't feel anything.
Yeah, like these are award sites, I'll call them. I had a very derogatory term for them. I'm going to say it, Chris, you could bleep it. Jack off sites. These guys are, you know, they're great. They're like technically impressive and very, you know, like, wow, amazing, you know, and I do like some of the tech in here. Like, you know, it's over the top, I would say, but like, I like some of the tech, like, you know, there's some WebGL kind of going on, you know, very much on the homepage. Like, you hover the guy's face and it's like blobby masking and stuff like that. That's fun and cool. We should do that. But yeah, like you're saying, this isn't a website. This is cool, but it does not work for Target.com. Like this can't be Target.com's homepage.
I go to Target because I get some job done that I need to get done, which is like, oh, my kid's pants are too small. I need to order some new jeans for her, get that going on. Or like, oh man, I go to this website and there's like funny stand-up comedian clips on it. And I'm like, that was hilarious. Better as hell. Sure, I'm going back to that website. You know?
Exactly.
Or it's my friend Jeremy publishes like interesting thoughts that I know he wrote with his fingers. Oh, dude, I can't wait to read the next one of those. I'm going back there. That's what makes you feel something when you make a website.
Yeah, like that there's like either a job to accomplish or a person, you know, very much behind it. I do want to like credit the team. I've gotten in trouble for crediting the team in the past, but I feel like the team did a good job. I feel like it's a very beautiful, very like grandiose site. I think they mission accomplished. You know, dude.
If you're going to ask to build a website for Lando Norris, of which that he will have no ongoing involvement with, probably because he's too busy, then this is it. You know.
Yeah, but you click to the store button and you're getting a Shopify now. You know,
this is all the Shopify is gone. Yeah,
and this is just a regular website, and that's like cool. Or to me, it's cool because it's like that's like actually shows.
I almost trusted more, honestly. If I actually want to buy a Lando thing, I kind of want the website to be kind of flat with like a square image of the poster I'm about to buy. And then
Right. It's kind of a workhorse now. It turns into like this is this is how you make. This is if you're going to interface with the website, this is probably where you're going to interface. Something like that. But this is. Yeah, it's cool. It's just I wish there was a way to like help people find their vibes. So Chris, we talked a week ago. Anyway, we talked about Monospace fonts, right? Do you remember that conversation?
Probably. Was it you don't always have to use them or whatever?
Well, Robin Rendle put Monospace font on his site, and I said I wanted to do it, and that tipped a domino where I redesigned.
I haven't been to Robin's site in a while. This is crazy.
He just
made it like a little. Oh wow!
It's like OS 10 app or OS 9 app. It's great, and so I was so like. It's like a GitHub basically. It's so great. I just was like, can I do Monospace font? I like the Monospace font. So I redid my website. I put a Monospace font on my website. And and I think I'm finding like that's like I'm closer to the expression I want of myself, which is weird, but to think about that, I feel like I'm closer to it now than I have been in a long time with my website. So
yeah, I'm not sure I have a big opinion. I know that a lot of people are like, never do that because it's not designed to be like paragraph readable. It's designed for code specifically. And then outside of any developer stuff, the reason that they are sometimes used is like it's like a typewriter callback for one thing. But right. I've heard it referred to as like, it's kind of like a wink or something. Like you might set some type in that when it's like the website talking to you, not the content talking to you, like an editor's note kind of thing. But you look at it all day long, and so do I. So, like, our brain is ready to read it, and that's okay. And so just do that.
Well, I could just switch my site to, like, System UI or whatever. And I think it's fine. Maybe I even, like, add, like, a toggle or something. I don't know. But I don't, for me, it's like, this is just...
Oh, which one did you use? This doesn't look like System UI to me.
No, this is. I'm using Cascadia Mono on my site, but
Cascadia Mono, very stylized for a mono.
Yeah,
cool.
I kind of wanted something with a little.
When did you do this? You'd think I would know.
Monday
my friend's
or something.
Website.
Probably Monday.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. I'm not too far behind then. That's good.
Maybe midnight on a Saturday. I forget. It was pretty late on.
Yeah.
Monday.
Oh, and you went all in too. It's not like you're like. The body copy is mono, but you kept your headers and nav and stuff. It's like, no, it's all mono.
All mono. I'm not, Chris, I'm not even, other than my H1, I'm not even styling the type. I'm using default padding bottom top on everything. I hate it. I hate that. But I'm like, I'm not going to fight the browser right now. I'm being the browser's mentor.
I see.
Bell.
Yeah.
I just was like, I'm just gonna like let it go and see what I feel like, and then if I hate it, I can fix it. But like I feel like I could just let this ride, and so that's kind of where I'm riding right now. So
okay.
But other than my H1 is pretty like unstyled. So but yeah. I don't know. I think I'm having a good time, and I feel like I finally like, okay, this like website feels like me. It looks like me. Maybe I do need to like offer like a business mode or something. Like, do you hate Monospace fonts? Add ?mono and or ?business or something, and I'll fix it. Like set a cookie and always give you the serif font or something. But I agree. Like it is kind of like a wink and a nod. It's like that's. Like hey, I'm a developer, get it? Like a pun almost, like a, and but I don't know, it just feels right to me right now. I don't know. So I did it. I went for it. I sent it. I hit sent.
I was listening to Hard Fork the other day. Is that on your list with Casey and Kevin Moose? Oh, really?
Weirdly,
I think they do
not
an
a Casey
excellent job
Moon
with that
guy,
show.
but
Okay.
But I should be. I don't know, but I'm not. Yeah.
No, I'm surprised. You know, it's one of these. They're not developers, but they're like close enough that they almost are. Like, sometimes I appreciate that perspective, kind of, and thus their infatuation with like Claude Code is like at its all-time high, right? Because we really are at a point where it can do some pretty impressive stuff, you know. And on one of the recent shows, cnewton.org is his personal website, of which he wrote 0 lines of code, right? And it looks pretty good, and it's monospace. It looks pretty good. I can sniff out the AI here and there, but like, I don't know. It's pretty impressive that Claude Code ripped this out that effectively to me. It's pretty darn beautiful, I think. Anyway, I should also mention that I released a little library called slideVars that I'm very happy with. That's what I alluded to me doing the other day. And I did not. I'd say it's, to be fair, 50%. Whatever model Cursor chose to use when I asked it for things. So it's not like pure vibe coded. I've closely looked at every line of code in the project. I'm adding stuff and changing stuff, you know, mostly with my fingers, but a lot of it was like initially blasted out with Claude and right to my specifications, because I had an API in mind. I had really specific ideas in mind. I had ideas about what technology to use and things like that. And so, you know, now that it exists, I'm finding I'm doing more of it by hand, because I don't know, I like little surgical changes to things.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with it. So the idea is, it's called slideVars. Again, it's available on CodePen and NPM at CodePen/slideVars. Slide meaning like a input type range, like sliders, and vars like CSS custom properties. And the API that I imagined for it was that you don't have to do anything. If you have custom properties at the HTML or root level, which is pretty common to do, that they're just automatically detected. And then minimum and maximum is like decided upon based on what its current value is and what unit it is. So if it's like, I don't know, if it's degrees, it has a different minimum and maximum than if it's pixels or something. And it takes the current value in place, and it just it makes sure that the ranges are pretty reasonable. And so you just import it and call it, and then that's it. You don't have to do anything. Whereas there's like a project called Knobs that's pretty cool. There's Dat GUI. I think there's other ones that just require a lot more configuration to get going.
Setup, yeah.
And I wanted my take on the API. I wanted to make it really lightweight. I wanted to use web components and experience that. And so there's like 2 or 3 web components involved internally, or just have it work. But then there's a lot of configuration too. If you want to control the minimum, the maximum, the step, what type it is, all this, you can control that and individually scope variables and stuff like that. But I wanted the API to be like kind of just drop it in and go.
Yeah.
And it works. It's pretty neat. And you can, you can design a pen to use. I'm already finding myself using it all the time. It's mostly for like experimentation, generative art kind of stuff, but it kind of works anywhere. Just drop it in and have a look. It's pretty neat.
I feel like I could use this in design system, like in a storybook, you know, because storybook has that like, hey, you know, knobs and stuff like that, you know, but like, what if I just offered the whole thing? So what's funny, I don't know if you knew, I don't want to give you a bug report. It picks up my Obsidian variables.
Guess what else it picks up? If you have a Arc browser, Arc injects a bunch of custom properties too. I could maybe have a blacklist or something, or intentionally ignore those variables, but I was kind of like, I don't want to fight that fight, really.
Right.
It's kind of on you to deal with that. If it was a huge problem, right and left, maybe.
Yeah.
You can also avoid it by just scope them to the body or something then. And
what's funny is like, why are you, code or whatever, Obsidian, why are you injecting something? Also, use a web component inside your thing so you don't leak that out, buddy. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's cool though. It's
I just thought I'd admit the amount of AI used for it was some, 50%, let's say. And I feel like I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have like a little boost to get it going.
Yeah, I don't. Again, dude, sorry, Sheila. Sorry, we took your question and we turned it into the AI show. I a lot of my feeds and content, we're talking the Theos and the everybody. It's a lot of like, AI is finally good now. Like if you're not writing AI, you're a dummy. Things like that. So I internalize that. But I'm also like, my work also is like, that's in the news, really wants us to use it. So I'm kind of trying to stretch, my growth mindset on this sort of thing. Right. And one thing I've been doing is just like firing off an agent during meetings, right? Like if I have a meeting, just like send it a task, I'll come back, or click yes throughout the meeting, just like let it go do something while I'm in a meeting, right? And it's been weird because it's like, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's awful. Like I think 2 days ago, I had like literally it kind of one shot a thing like amazingly. And it was like, whoa, awesome. It was like, give me a component requirement doc. Right. And it went out and did it. And because it was in our repo, it was like also like, oh, you're using web components. Like, let's add some like things about web components. Like what should the, custom element name be? What should should it use shadow DOM and things like that? Like it was just very like, I would say sensitive to what's in the repo, like accessibility testing, things like that. Like it was very, like I read through the whole thing and like I changed like 5 words basically, like I think it was really pretty well thought out on this requirement doc. But then I had this other thing where I was like debugging a bundling issue, and it's like, I got you, bud. I know the problem. I'll fix it. And it fixed it. And I was like, can you like write something to like validate that? And it's like, totally. Yep. Doing it. I'm going out and doing that, And I'm like, dude, it fixed it. I'm like messaging my boss, like, dude, I fixed the packaging issue. This is great. Let me just verify like this is like, we got it. Right. And then it like, I undo all the changes and I run the test it made. Still no change. Nothing changed. So it's like, I fixed it. And then it's like, I run the test and it's like, oh, and it's like, it didn't do anything. It didn't. And it was like 2 hours, Chris, of like back and forth, and just waiting and whatever, and and it was just like, I just sat through this for nothing, and so I just like, that's like, those like experiences really like make it hard for me to jump in again because,
I get it. You're nothing if you're not a product of your own experiences. That's what I always say, because I think like you can't have an opinion that's the one that you should have or you're told to have. You're going to have the one that is based on the experiences that you do have. And let's say that happens to me regularly, and sometimes I'm in the mood to fight it, or I feel so stuck that I like, need to ask it. But I'm much more interested in like pairing with somebody who actually understands it, and then we learn together and write it ourselves. That's a much more like satisfying experience to me. But I'm also like somewhat grateful for those times where I'm like feeling very alone and need help, and it assists me, and I'm like, oh, thank God, jeepers.
Well, because it knows about it.
Yeah,
because you don't know about it. But no. Anyway, yeah.
Should we rapid fire a couple of these out so we can say we
go for it? Yeah, so we actually did questions.
John
plural.
Elwood writes in. He's I want to know if it's just me, but I'm 100% unable to use Safari DevTools to any degree of effectiveness. For me, as much as the Safari team brings to the web its contributions to relevant web specs, not to mention the market share Max products have with web developers, I just don't get their browser DevTools. Am I missing something here? Curious about all your thoughts. Good work. I also don't like Safari's DevTools, but I'm a little hesitant to outright say they're not great because I don't use them every day. And I do kind of think once in a while I'll like click something in there and be like, oh, that's useful how they like surfaced that a little better than Chrome's does or something. It makes me feel like if I used them every day, I would get used to it. That said, every time I've tried to switch to a Safari or WebKit-based browser, I'm always been like, oh, this is my least favorite part. But right now, holding my arm behind my back, I can't tell you exactly why. I like forget why. And it tends to be like little things that I'm used to with how Chrome does it. Like, I don't know, looking at all the images it downloads in the network tab by filtering by images. Oh, look, you can do that over here too, no problem. But then you like hover over one, and I'm used to how Chrome gives you like the dimensions of that image in the pop-up, but it doesn't do that in Safari's web tools, and I use that sometimes. How mad am I about that? A little, but it's like you don't need to copy Chrome in everything you do. It's just a little annoyance that I'm like, oh, I wish it had that. But that's not the biggest deal. But I do find that tends to add up over time, but I can't really name them. I'd say, John, a useful thing to do would be write down 10 of them and blog it. What are those things that you find obnoxious about? Is it a lack of something or a way it does something wrong? That would be very useful, certainly for them, and I almost guarantee they would see it and read it.
That, in my experience, is what you should do. If you have a problem, blog it and be nice. I don't know. You don't have to be nice, but like, there are people who work at these companies who want to know your experience, and they need an artifact to shop around. They can't just be like, oh man, did you see that tweet where somebody was mad? They can't, that's not evidence,
Right.
So, but if it's like a well-reasoned blog post, like, here's the difficulty I'm having with this, like, it loses, I don't know, a metaphor. Like, I understand, I can open Safari DevTools and I see elements, consoles, sources, network. These are all the same things that it's called on my other browser. And then I'm in timelines and I'm starting to get a little confused, but I think that's sort of like the performance and storage. I guess it was like application graphics, don't know, layers. That's like the 3D panel. That's also in Firefox. Okay. Audit. Looks like fake Lighthouse to me or something, maybe.
Exactly.
Like,
just use Lighthouse. Timelines should be under network because they're the same. They're so related, and I don't know. It's just little stuff. But is it because you're confused because you don't use it every day, or is it actually worse?
Yeah, and we've got some like left, right, pop out buttons. Like, I don't put those in a drop down. Maybe those don't. We've got element selector. I get that. The little target. I don't know what computer does. Computer has some features.
Those aren't. Look at how good though. All of those are useful to me.
Yeah, disable images, disable cool. CSS, JavaScript.
Why is it under a computer icon? Pretty weird.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That could go in the settings thing. Oh, I opened the settings thing. This is a weird one. So anyway, I like.
Settings is like really smashed into the middle, weird, and
I feel like the team that makes DevTools for iOS, the like Xcode DevTools team, took over the DevTools for Safari, or they're using the same like primitive or something, and they need to maybe dial it back and go like 8% more web. That's my prescription. 8% more Chrome, please. The type is tight. It's just tight. It's uncomfy. I'm gonna say, even, you know what I mean. So anyway, I'll tear down Chrome's DevTools too. Don't worry. I'll do it. So.
You got problems there too.
Oh yeah.
Russell Heimlich, just for extra credit points. Remember when we talked about that button, and it's a button that only needs to be there if JavaScript fails, and that's a particularly weird, hard thing to do because you're like, but I want to put it there, and then it should just stay there if JavaScript fails, and then I should delete it when JavaScript does load, but then you're going to get a flash of a button, and you don't want to see the flash of the button. The flash of the button is bad. It causes layout shift. It's awkward for users and all this stuff. It's a button that you only want there when JavaScript doesn't load. How do you do that? And it turns out there is actually a pretty good answer for this. Scott Gell happened to blog about it. And what did he call it? I can't even remember now, but it's easy to think about. It's just like, it's a CSS animation that hides the button for as many seconds as you think is appropriate. Call it 2. That way, if that animation finishes, the button shows up. If JavaScript loads, it can get in there and cancel that animation or hide the element that it's a parent of so the animation never finishes. This is the answer to that solution. It's still a little weird. Is it the world's most perfect thing? No. Is it a little magic numbery? Yes. But I like it as a general solution of a button that needs to be there only when JavaScript is off. That satisfies that to me. And
Yeah.
Russell, you had the same idea that Scott did, and thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, if no JavaScript show button, that's hard to do without JavaScript. But you found a way. So good job. Do you want to do one more, or I maybe
Yeah,
have
let's
a
not.
meeting
We have
here,
one
but
that's really long here. We'll just go really quick. No?
yeah, yeah, sure. Camille Ramsey writes in. My
One's too
questions.
long. Let's do the next one.
Oh, excuse Camille. We'll come back to you. Gerald writes in. I volunteer for a group where I create a website. They also want to start a podcast. I see you're using a web component for the media player. Can you share the code, or do you use an open source repo? Yes. Go to github.com/davidtron5000 or
You did open source it. Nice.
well, ours is actually in a pull request. I would actually just steal ours and like web inspect this and like copy paste it into your code base, or like I just need to like finalize that pull request. One thing you could also look into is Mux has a really great web component thing called Media Chrome.
For audio, even?
Yeah, it works for web and audio, but media-chrome.org is basically a composable HTML media element player. So we've got, controls, mute, 1x, 2x.
This is sick. You should just
use
use this.
I would not use ours. I would use this and see what your styling options are.
It's been around longer, so it's probably, I don't know, more battle tested or whatever. Yeah, this is cool.
It's literally supported by a team that makes a media player, so I would trust it.
And it looks kind of boring, but I bet it's slotted to high hell. You could do anything with this. It's like perfectly designed to be themable. It has that feel to me. Yeah, this is cool. Ours is cool, but it's a little too specific. It's got that like SVG baked in that's all pixely and stuff. Like it's just too specific to our use. But you did do some nice touches, like the little jump forward and the speed and stuff.
Totally. I think like we even intercept like time codes and things like that. So like there's kind of, there's stuff like that in there that's in ours. But, feel free to steal ours or delete whatever is not important to you. And then, I probably need to finish that PR and make another thing. But, that was someday 5 years ago or something. So anyway, but yeah, good luck, Gerald. Please steal it, do it, or use Mux's because it's good. So that's what I'd say. So. All right, I do have to go to a meeting. Chris, thank you for joining me. This is fun, always. And we're headed to episode 700. Holy spicoli. So if you got ideas, you have probably like 1 week to tell us about it. So anyway, but we appreciate y'all listening. We really do. And thank you for downloading this in your podcatcher, start it up, and then join us in the Discord, patreon.com/ShopTalkShow. And Chris, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, shoptalkshow.com.
I'm Drex from Warsaw, Poland, Europe, and I build websites. Join me in the ShopTalk Show Discord at patreon.com/ShopTalkShow.